So today's topic is turning, and this is video 17. In today's topic, we will understand what are the rules associated with turning while making a turn. Okay, so I will skip the disclaimer and going to the agenda. We will first learn about the definition, then we'll discuss about the types of turn, some tips, some insights, then special vehicles and exceptions for turning priority, pre-sorting positions, turning precautions, and at the end references. Okay, starting with the definition. By definition, okay, you are slowing down and bending on the road to change direction. Turning means changing the direction. Very easy to understand and very easy to learn. Okay, types of turn. In many of this is not this information is not easily available in any of the records in any of the resources that I generally cite at the end of the video or end of the presentation. But there are two types of turns. One is short term and one is long term. And short term, what do I mean by say? Suppose the car is going in this direction and suddenly decides to take a turn. In the Netherlands, we drive in the right direction. So this is a short turn. Whereas from the from this lane, if the car has to go in towards this lane, then it's a long turn, means it has to cover a larger distance. That's why it's called a long turn. From the rules of Based on the rules of priority, the short turn has higher priority than long turn. This is very important to understand. Short term has higher priority than the long turns. Means the vehicle here has to allow this car to go first, then this car will merge here. Okay, starting with the tips for non-priority roads or junctions. This part is very important because one can expect 2 or 3 questions from this section. So starting with this part, the first point is during turning of car, pedestrians and drivers going straight on the same road has priority. For example, if a road is like this and if there is a walkway here for pedestrians, and if a car is going to take a turn here, so the car was in this direction towards from south to north, and pedestrian is also going from south to north, as both are in the same direction going parallel to each other, but the car is going to take a turn. So here the car has to wait for the pedestrian to cross, then only it can take a right turn. Very important. Then the second point is, if the turning car and the pedestrian are on opposite road, like moving perpendicular to each other, then no priority to the pedestrian. Okay, let me show with an example. Suppose this is the road and the pavement or the walkway is like this, and the person is moving from left to right, or the person is moving from right to left, and if a car wants to take a turn, then in this case here I am mentioning that perpendicular. And what do I mean by perpendicular? Because the car is going in this direction and the pedestrian is coming from this direction or this direction, so both are perpendicular to each other, then car has the priority and the pedestrian has to stop, so no priority to the pedestrian. Okay, the third point, if turning or straight going car and the second car straight going or turning are on opposite road, like meeting perpendicular to each other, then driver on the right has priority. For example, like in this scenario, if a car is like this and if another car is like this, then this car has priority. This is what I am trying to say. Last point, if two vehicles are merging on the same road, then short turn has more priority than the long run. This one we already saw in the last slide, but still then I'm explaining again. It will be a revise. For example, if okay, let me draw a four-way road, and okay, if a car wants to turn in this direction and a car on this road wants to take a turn like this. So my my drawing is not that good. So in this scenario, this car from the right of this lane has to merge into this lane, whereas this car was just near to this lane. So here this one is a short turn and this one will be a long turn. So in this scenario, the short turn has more priority than the long turn. Well, these are the four important points that I wanted to discuss. This is not generally easy to find, but I have summarized it so for my viewers to learn it and get the information very easily. Special vehicles and exceptions for turning priority. Okay, priority control or uncontrolled junction. Tram has always the priority over the drivers turning left or turning right. We came across a golden rule that driver only on the right have priority, but this is not in case of the tram. If tram is approaching here, if this is, if suppose this is tram and this is C2, then tram has priority over the vehicle on the right. It will always have priority. So that's why it's called a special vehicle. Tram has to follow the rules of the applied priority road or junction like shark teeth. Okay, if there are shark teeth here on the road, here, and if there is another vehicle here going in this direction, then the vehicle on the right, whichever vehicle is on the right, has to be given priority by the tram. Tram has to give way to pedestrians walking on the zebra crossing and pedestrian crossing. So this is a very generic rule that on the pedestrian crossing or zebra crossing, tram has to give priority. Okay, so please remember this one is very important, and also this one, and also this one. Yeah, this is for the non-priority road and this is for the priority junction. Okay, pre-sorting. You can use the, suppose I was driving here. Okay, and there is another, this is car 1, and suppose this was going this direction, car 2. This is car 2 and this is car 1. Car 2 is going in this direction and car 1 is going straight. If it has already given direction to move the here, then if there is a little bit lack of space, and this is bicycle path. This is bicycle path. Then the car 1 can little bit use the space of the bicycle path. If it is only dotted line, path can pre-sort and overtake on the right, overtaking it from right. This is an exception. Generally, the rule says overtaking is not allowed in the right direction, but overtaking is allowed only in this case in the right direction. If this is very important to understand, and please remember this is an exception. Okay, turning precautions, and watch out for blind spots. Watch out for all blind spots, the locations to which you are blind or cannot see from inside the car. For looking, these are the rules. First, look to the mirror inside, the mirror that is inside the car on the top. Second, look, if you are turning right, then look to your right hand side mirror. Then move your head to your shoulder to look at the blind. Same goes for turning left. First look inside the mirror on the in the middle of the middle glass. Then look to the left mirror, left hand side mirror. Then look to your back to see if someone is in the blind spot. So the blind spots on the right hand side is very dangerous. That one we already discussed. And trucks have a larger blind spots than cars. Okay, going to the next slide. Okay, so we have come to an end of this topic. This was a very important and informative presentation. I hope you have understood all the concepts. For further reading, please refer to these resources that is given. And I hope that everyone is learning well, and please avoid confusing traps, and we will see each other in the next video. Till then, goodbye.